Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with the last trailer reaction today. I did 4, and now we got The Haunting of Bly Manor. This is technically the second season of The Haunting of Hill House, but there is no continuation. I believe that's a one and done, and I think they're going to do like an American Horror Story type thing where every season is a new tale. Will they all tie together at some point? Will we have crossovers? I'm thinking they would. I'm feeling like why even continue a series like this and use a similar name if you weren't going to tap into things from the other one. I guess from the trailer, we might get a good idea as to whether or not they're going to. I feel like it's a short trailer. I think I saw it was like a little over a minute long. Maybe it's considered a teaser. I'm not sure. All I know is The Haunting of Hill House was one of the best shows I've seen in recent times. Probably the best horror show I've seen in recent times. Some of my favorite shows of recent years are like Cobra Kai and Westworld, stuff like that. But nothing horror related has ever jumped into like the top 5 for just shows in general, at least for me. I struggle to think of one. I watch so many different shows, but none of them are actually like fully horror based. The Haunting of Hill House hit on every level. The acting was amazing, even the child actors. One of my big things with horror movies is if you don't get a good child actor, it could ruin the whole thing. And every child actor in The Haunting of Hill House was phenomenal. The adults were phenomenal. They did crazy things like in episode 5 or 6 where they shot basically almost the entire episode in one shot. I think it was done in several, but they edited it in a way where you almost couldn't even tell where they clipped the shots. And a good 20 minutes of the show seemed like they went with one solid shot, going through the funeral home into the house, stuff like that. Phenomenally done. It had jump scares galore, crazy twists. The ending was dark and sinister, yet somehow ended on a peaceful note, which gave you closure. I was going to say what happens, but I don't want to spoil season 1 if you haven't seen it. So I'm just going to jump in. I'm curious to see if it ties in any way, even though it's probably going to be mostly, if not all, self-contained. So if you guys want to see more of what I do, Patreon link at the end, full unedited reactions of the shows and stuff I do on the channel. If not, we're jumping in. This is the first official trailer to The Haunting of Bly Manor.
I have a story.
That's
a
creepy.
Ghost story.
I recognize her. Who has a corner full of dolls? That's creepy music. Hey, that's the brother. Oh, was that the sister? I think it was with different hair. It is all of them back. And that's I thought she was going to get the crap scared out of her. So it looks exactly like I thought it would be, guys. I felt like it'd be an American Horror Story type show where each season is a solo story, but might connect in some ways in the future. I feel like American Horror Story didn't connect right away, but then it had certain elements that did connect to certain things. Very loosely, you didn't really need to see the other seasons to understand, but if you followed it from season to season, you'd catch names and people and places and stuff like that that all reference different things. I haven't seen the last 2 seasons of American Horror Story. I watched up until the hotel one. I believe the hotel with Lady Gaga was the last one I saw, which was still very good. It was just one of those shows where I just kind of like forgot when it restarted and I went too far behind and then I just never continued. All I know is this looks like it's doing the same thing. Put it this way. I saw Nell, Luke, and the father from The Haunting of Hill House. So right there was 3 characters returning as what I'm assuming are different characters because they're in a totally different scenario. If you haven't seen The Haunting of Hill House, I'm going to be vague with what happened because I don't want to spoil it for people. But I highly recommend you go see it. But Nell was the main girl. She just had different color hair. Nell was that blonde girl in the beginning. I looked at her and I'm like, that girl looks so familiar. It's because it was Nell who was one of, if not the main focus of the entire season of The Haunting of Hill House. Luke was her brother. He was the dude. And the father was the kid from E.T. is the father, only the father back when they were little kids. There was an older father when they were themselves grown up. So he's back in it too. Obviously, it's not connected. So they could go the avenue of American Horror Story where it is connected in other weird ways, even though the actors are playing different roles. You just got to extend disbelief and be okay with that. If they're even doing it, they might not be doing that. It might just be totally self-contained stories that don't touch on one another at all. Looked creepy as hell right off the bat. You see they move into a gigantic house and there is a creepy amount of dolls in the basement, all piled in a corner. One of them looked to have come to life, unless it was a ghost just possessing it or something. The little girl at the end that went shh, she obviously knows something's up and communicates with the dead and is okay with it. I tried to get a good look at her, and mind you, children grow very fast. She did not look like any of the girls from The Haunting of Hill House, but it could have been one of those kids that are grown up now that just look different, and they were phenomenal actors, specifically Little Nell and Little Luke, who are the two grown-up versions of the actors we saw in this trailer. I don't know why them being adult actor versions in this trailer would have any significance on them having their child actors be in this from the other part, and I'm talking in riddles now. So I'm excited to see this. It comes out in about 3 weeks. You guys let me know what you think. If you want to see more of what I do, Patreon link in front of me. I have full unedited reactions of all the other shows on Netflix that you should see on YouTube. Umbrella Academy's done, Russian Doll, all these shows that Netflix has that I have trouble editing up for YouTube. Check it out, full unedited. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.